everyone. Welcome back to English a Long Way, where you grow in life and grow in English. I'm Alina.
And I'm Marcus.
Okay, I want to start with a question, and I want you to be honest with yourself when you hear it. Have you ever thought, do I really need a teacher, or can I just figure this out on my own?
Oh, starting strong today.
Because here's the thing. Millions of people are learning English right now without a classroom, without a teacher, just with their phone, some YouTube videos, maybe a podcast or two.
A podcast or two? I wonder which ones.
And some of them are becoming fluent. So the question is real. Do you actually need a teacher, or is that just something we've been told to believe?
Okay, but wait, are we really going there today? Because I feel like this could get uncomfortable.
Good. Uncomfortable is where the good conversations live.
Fair enough, let's go.
So, here's my main idea, and I know you're going to push back on this, Marcus, but I genuinely believe you do not need a teacher to become fluent in English, not in the traditional sense, not anymore.
Okay, define traditional sense.
I mean someone standing in front of a classroom, someone you pay by the hour, someone who gives you homework and corrects your grammar on a piece of paper.
Right, so you're saying that model is outdated.
I'm saying it's not the only model, and for many people, it's not even the best model.
Okay, I hear you, but I think you're skipping something important.
Go ahead.
Most people who learn on their own, they had a foundation first. A teacher gave them the basics, the alphabet, the first verbs, the sentence structure. They didn't just wake up one day and open Netflix and suddenly understand everything.
That's actually a fair point.
I knew you'd say that.
Don't get excited. I'm not agreeing with you yet. I'm just saying, okay, the beginning is different, but after a certain point, you can absolutely go alone.
After a certain point, so you're moving the finish line a little.
I'm being honest.
Okay, but here's my problem with your idea. Not everyone knows what to study. Not everyone knows what they're missing. A teacher sees your mistakes. A teacher hears the thing you don't even know is wrong. Without that, you can practice the wrong thing for years and think you're improving.
Come on, you're describing the worst version of self-study.
Am I?
Yes, because the same is true of bad teachers. I had an English teacher in school who taught us one grammar rule wrong for 2 years. 2 years, Marcus. And we all believed her because she was the teacher.
Okay, ouch.
So a teacher is not automatically good guidance. A teacher is just a person, sometimes a very wrong person.
Okay, that's fair. I give you that. But a good teacher...
A good teacher is amazing. I am not saying teachers are bad. I'm saying they are not necessary for everyone. There's a difference.
I'm not fully convinced, but keep going.
Think about it this way. What does fluency actually require? You need input, you need to hear and read a lot of English, you need output, you need to speak and write, you need feedback, you need to know when you're wrong, and you need motivation. You need a reason to keep going. Now, can all 4 of those things happen without a teacher?
In theory, yes.
Not in theory, in practice. Real people are doing it right now.
But real people is doing a lot of work in that sentence. Who are these people? Because I think they are a specific type of person. Motivated, disciplined, comfortable with uncertainty. Most people are not like that.
So your argument is most people need a teacher because most people can't manage themselves?
That sounds harsh when you say it like that.
But is it wrong?
No, it's not wrong. Most people don't finish things they start alone. That's just true. A teacher creates structure. A teacher creates accountability. I have a lesson on Thursday. That is a reason to show up. Without it, it's very easy to say, I'll study tomorrow for the next 5 years.
Okay, and that is a real point. I won't pretend it isn't. But accountability doesn't have to come from a teacher. It can come from a study group, from a language partner, from a podcast you love, from a goal, a trip, a job, a person you want to speak to.
A person you want to speak to. Okay, now we're getting into movie territory.
I'm just saying, motivation has many faces.
True, but it's not always enough. And here's the thing that bothers me most about your idea. You're making this sound very accessible, like anyone can do it. But language learning is hard. It takes years. And without someone to guide you through the hard parts, a lot of people give up. Not because they're weak, because they're human.
I agree it's hard. I completely agree. But I think a teacher can also make it harder in the wrong way. When you're in a classroom and you make a mistake and everyone hears it, some people shut down. They stop trying. They become afraid to speak. And that fear follows them for years.
That's actually something I didn't think about.
Because you were probably the kid who loved answering questions in class.
I mean, I was charming. What can I say?
And some of us were not charming. Some of us were terrified. And a self-directed learner, they can make mistakes privately. They can try and fail and try again with no audience.
Okay, that's a real advantage. I'll give you that.
Let me tell you something personal. I never had a formal English teacher after age 14. My family couldn't afford ongoing lessons. So I watched films. I read everything I could find. I talked to myself, out loud, alone in my room, pretending I was having conversations.
Wait, seriously? You talked to yourself?
Every day, for years.
That's either brilliant or slightly concerning. Possibly both.
It worked, and nobody guided me through it. I just kept going because I wanted it.
Okay, I respect that. And honestly, I believe you. But I have a different story. I started learning Spanish a few years ago by myself. YouTube, apps, podcasts, and for 8 months, I felt like I was improving. I was proud of myself.
And then?
And then I spoke to an actual Spanish speaker for the first time, and they looked at me like I had just invented a new language. Apparently, I had been pronouncing about 30% of my words incorrectly for 8 months.
Oh no.
A teacher would have caught that in week 2. One session, done. Instead, I spent 8 months building a very confident, very wrong accent.
Okay, that is a strong argument.
Thank you.
But here's what I noticed. You didn't give up. You found a teacher, you corrected it, you kept going. So even that mistake, it didn't stop you.
True, but imagine if I had spoken to someone earlier. Imagine how much faster the progress would have been.
Faster is not always better. Sometimes the long road teaches you things the shortcut skips.
That sounds very philosophical for a conversation about verb tenses.
Everything is philosophical if you look at it long enough.
I cannot argue with that.
But here's the deeper thing I want to say. I think the real question isn't teacher or no teacher. I think the real question is, what kind of learner are you and what do you actually need?
Okay, say more.
Some people need structure. They need a schedule, a syllabus, a person who checks their work, and a teacher is perfect for them. But some people learn by exploring, by making mistakes freely, by following their curiosity. And a teacher, especially a rigid one, can actually slow them down.
So you're saying it depends on the person.
I'm saying it deeply depends on the person, and I think we don't ask that question enough. We just assume everyone learns the same way. We say, go to a class, without asking, is this person a classroom person?
Okay. I think I'm starting to agree with you more than I wanted to.
I knew you'd come around eventually.
Don't get comfortable. I still think most people benefit from at least some guidance, some feedback from a real human. Not forever, not every week, but at key moments, at the beginning, after a long plateau, before something important like a job interview or a test. A good teacher at the right moment is incredibly valuable.
That I can agree with. A teacher at the right moment, yes. A teacher as the only way, no.
Okay, so maybe the answer isn't yes, you need a teacher, or no, you don't. Maybe the answer is it depends on when and what kind and for how long.
Now you're thinking like a philosopher.
I've been hanging around you too long.
And now we want to ask you some questions, not to test you, just to make you think.
That's our favorite kind of question.
First question, how do you learn best? Do you learn better in a structured environment with a teacher, a schedule, clear rules? Or do you learn better when you explore freely, follow your interests, and move at your own pace? Think about that honestly.
Second question, have you ever stopped learning something, not because it was too hard, but because the way you were learning it didn't fit you? Maybe the class was wrong. Maybe the teacher wasn't right for you. Maybe you needed something different. Think about a time that happened.
And third, if you could design your own English learning journey from zero, what would it look like? What would you use? Who would help you? What would your first step be?
There's no wrong answer. There's only your answer.
So, what did we learn today?
We learned that teachers are not magical, but also not useless.
We learned that fluency is possible without a traditional teacher. It has been done, it is being done right now by real people.
We also learned that without some feedback, some human connection, it is very easy to build confidence on a shaky foundation. Confidence without accuracy is just loud.
That might be the best thing you've said all episode.
I have my moments.
The honest answer is this. You don't need a teacher to become fluent, but you do need the right tools, the right habits, and honest feedback along the way, whether that comes from a teacher, a partner, a community, or even yourself if you're paying close attention.
And the most important thing is this. Stop asking what is the right method and start asking what is the right method for me. Those are two very different questions.
The best learners are the ones who found the perfect teacher. They're the ones who took responsibility for their own growth. They asked for help when they needed it. They explored when exploring served them, and they never stopped moving forward.
Even if they were mispronouncing 30% of their words for 8 months.
Even then,
If this conversation helped you,
keep listening, keep growing.